Put a baby on board sign in the window of your car, regardless of your parenthood status. If you ever get in a nasty car accident, the paramedics and firemen will try to save you first.
Need an excuse for arriving late? You were pulled over by the police because you matched the description of a person who threw an egg at someone who was walking on the street. This is so random. They will just laugh and not ask any questions.
When you're shopping online, add whatever stuff you want to buy into the cart, and then leave the website for the rest of the day without buying anything. They will send you an email giving you a promo code to encourage you to complete your order.
If a website requires you to enter payment information before getting a free trial, create an account on Spanish or Belgium PayPal, since those don't require you to enter a credit card to create the account, and then just add it to your payment info.
If you work in retail, write an email to your boss praising yourself, pretending to be a customer.
If someone ever tries to grab you, scratch them. Their DNA will now be under your fingernails.
If your plane is being held up because it's missing 1 or 2 passengers, just tell the pilot you know those passengers personally and that they won't be coming.
If you're overdosed on illegal substances, don't be scared to call 911. You won't get in trouble because your life matters to them.
Lie about having a college degree. Companies rarely check them, and the only consequence is that they don't hire you.
If you get caught staring at a woman and her boyfriend gets confrontational, just say, "I'm sorry, she reminds me of my dead girlfriend." That way you get a view of juicy cheeks without problems.
If you forgot to study for an exam, arrive 10 minutes before class starts with a piece of paper saying, "Exam canceled" or "Meeting in progress." By the time the teachers come, too many students will have left, so they will have to cancel it.
You can use the square metal part of the seatbelt buckle to open beers while you're driving.
Send the same perfume to your wife and your girlfriend. It could save your ass one day.
If you're driving next to a cop and you want to act normal, pick your nose. That means you are not concerned that someone is watching you.
If your clothes ever catch on fire, drop to the ground and roll around while covering your face with your hands.
The next time someone you don't trust visits your house, after they leave, check all your windows and locks in case they unlocked something and plan to come back at night and break in.
If your hair randomly stands up when you're outside, dug and stay down, or you'll get struck by lightning.
Don't want to spend a small fortune on a wedding ring? Buy an old wedding ring at a pawn shop and say that it was your grandmother's ring. This will give it more sentiment and value than a new ring.
If you are ever in a situation where you might be going to prison, quickly learn how to cut hair. Barbers are greatly appreciated by other inmates, and you will most likely be spared when it comes to prison violence.
When you're going on a vacation, call the hotel and tell them it's your anniversary. They will usually put you in a slightly better room or give you some free luxury presents.
If someone points a gun at you, hold eye contact with the person. They are less likely to shoot you if you do this.
When you are on a date, tell your date in advance that you have a very tight schedule. If everything goes fine, you can pretend that you've rescheduled all your important meetings and the person will be flattered. But if the date goes wrong, you'll have the perfect excuse to leave.
If you sit down to poop in prison, remove 1 foot completely from your pants. This way you can stand up and fight if you are attacked.
To meet girls, go to Target instead of bars. The male-to-female ratio is 10 to 1, and they are already looking for things they don't need.
If you ever need to drive around with some illegal substances, keep that thing in a sealed box addressed to you because cops are not allowed to open your mail.
Want to cut into another lane of traffic, but no one will let you in? Cut in front of a Tesla! Autopilot will force the car to stop.
If you have an asthma attack, drink something with caffeine. Caffeine will open up your lungs and help you breathe.
Tell your kid that if he or she doesn't brush his teeth well enough, they'll all fall out. When they start losing their baby teeth, tell them they didn't do a good enough job. This way they'll brush their adult teeth really well.
If you need to go to the ER, leave all identification at home. You cannot be denied care. And once you've been treated, you won't be required to pay.
When buying something online, try using the code MILITARY. Many sites have military discounts and don't require any proof.
To get extra money from insurance, keep a broken appliance in your car. If you get into an accident, it will be covered as implied damage.
If you ever have a house party and don't want to pay for expensive wine, just buy an expensive bottle, drink all of it yourself, and then fill it with cheap wine. Most times, people won't be able to tell the difference.
If you ever get a flat tire, take a picture of the situation situation you are in. Now you have a pre-made excuse for when you ever want to get out of something you don't want to go to.
Instead of spending $5 on flavored coffee creamer, go to your local 7-Eleven and fill your coffee cup with creamer.
If your coworker calls out of work sick, you can do the same one 3 days later. Your boss will think you have the same thing, and it's going around the office.
Get free underwear or swimsuits in a sporting goods store by putting them under your clothes in the fitting room. They normally have unsupervised fitting rooms and no anti-theft tag.
If the air smells like chlorine during a storm, run! Lightning is about to strike where you are.
Ask a classmate to split the homework, claiming that you'll do half, and then ask another classmate to do the other half. Compile their work for a complete assignment.
If you're ever in a taxi and they're purposely trying to get you to pay more by driving slowly, start coughing and sneezing and acting extremely sick. Usually, they'll drive faster.
Never open your windows after midnight. Thieves might use it.
Bring crutches to an airport. You can bypass every line, including boarding, and you are chauffeured to your gate the second you pass through security.
If you need to lie, add an unnecessary embarrassing detail to make your story more believable.
If you're in a house fire, close the doors behind you as you exit. This will slow the spread of flames, giving you more time to escape.
When going for an interview, get 2 or 3 of your friends to sign up for it too. Tell them to give the stupidest interview ever. Then your chances of getting the job will be way higher.
If you ever accidentally disturb a beehive, do not jump into water. They'll wait for you to resurface and continue stinging you.
When walking downstairs, don't put your hands in your pockets. If you happen to fall, you won't be able to grab a railing on time.
If you have a paper due at 11:59 but you didn't finish it, to buy some more time, submit a paper with the wrong file type, and then use the time between then and when your professor emails you saying, "Oops, looks like you submitted the wrong file type."
To not pay for an expensive Uber ride, tell Uber support that your driver swore at you. You can do this up to 3 times, and you will get a full refund on all 3 rides.
In most stores, employees aren't allowed to stop you from shoplifting on their own due to policy.
If you want to go inside any building, wear a security vest and hold a ladder. Usually they will let you inside without asking any questions.
If you were chased by the police, go to Costco. Most likely they don't have a membership and they won't be allowed in.
If you ever want more time off work from a doctor's note, tell the doctor you work in the food industry. They will give you slightly more time off as an extra precaution since you would be handling food.
Need new tires? Rent a car with the same size tires you have and swap them out.
If you want to play some video games and you don't have money, just go buy one at Walmart, play it, and then return it within the warranty period, which is around 90 days.
If you're at a party and you make the toilet overflow, find the host. Ask them where the bathroom is, walk to the bathroom, and immediately return and tell them it is clogged.
To curb impulsive online spending, freeze your credit card in a block of ice. By the time it thaws, you'll have time to reconsider your purchase.
Start up your own cafe or restaurant and make loads of fake hot dating profiles. Match with every single person and organize a date at the place you just opened. Pretend to be late to the dates and tell them to order something expensive for you. Then, after you serve them, call off the date.
To avoid a fight, strip naked. No one is going to fight a naked person.
If your company doesn't pay you for sick leaves, show up at work with pox and accidentally infect everybody. They will eventually change policy.
To skip the line in Disneyland, hire a handicapped person to go along with you.
Grocery stores will often put reduced price stickers on products going out of date. Remove these stickers and place it on a fresher version.
When you stay at a hotel, charge random things to other people's rooms. The staff rarely verifies your room number.
To lock somebody's phone when you don't want them to use it, yell, "Siri, whose phone is this?"
Squash a memory foam pillow, then fart into it. While it expands back out, it sucks the fart smell in for 5 minutes, so when the next person lays their head on it, the fart particles get re-released around their head.
If you ever get a speeding ticket, go to court to dispute it. A lot of the times the cop doesn't show up and they'll drop the ticket. But if they do show up, ask them when was the last time they calibrated their radar gun. They don't do it as often as they should.
If you can't afford to buy a car and your parents refuse to help, tell them you're going to buy a motorcycle instead. They will buy you a car for the fear of you having a motorcycle.
To sound sick when calling into work, lie with your head over the bed to sound congested.
If you can't get your roommate to clean up, create a fake Tinder profile, match with them, and tell them you're coming over. They'll leave the place absolutely spotless in no time.
If you don't feel like doing the dishes, grab clean plates, make them wet, and put them in the drying rack. Then tell your roommate or partner to do the other half of the dishes.
If you need to cancel a hotel reservation but are unable to do so due to a 24-hour policy, call the company and move the reservation to a later date. Then you'll be able to cancel it.
If you ever come face to face with a mountain lion, don't turn your back on him. Just slowly walk backwards.
When ordering ice cream, always ask for a single scoop. However, when the server is finished, say, "Actually, I'd like a second scoop." This forces them into matching the size of the first scoop, which tends to be bigger.
When you're in a forest and it suddenly becomes completely silent, pause and listen closely, because this might indicate the presence of a big predator.